Yeah, you are audible. So we
Message class is a container of what is a message class? Message class is a container of a messages. Like how function group is a container of function modules. Like in a similar way, message class is the container of messages. Stored under message class. Is it clear? Maximum
messages will be stored in the message class.
now let us see what is a message.
Message class to program. All the
Okay.
messages in the message class.
We have viewed this message type. Okay.
Warning. Success. Substitute parameter.
Are you recording the session? How is it taking forward? Become I there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Now, are you recording or how do you want to take this?
Okay, I
To
will
take
be
it?
noting down.
So basically, now let me come back to the first statement. So we need to understand something called as the messages in a SAP app. Okay. In order to understand the messages, we have to understand first about the message class. Because message class is basically a container which consists of all the messages. Okay. Now, what happens is we generally create projects in SAP. Like for example, all the finance related thing, we will create one project ZFI. For instance, I'm just giving you a vague example. Okay. Now, For all the sales related thing, we create a project called as a ZST. For all the material management related, we call it as a ZMA. Now, what happens is when we create a project, right? All the messages related to the project will be stored under a single class called the message class. Okay,
Okay.
we can store maximum number of 1,000 messages in a whenever message class is created. What is the maximum number of messages that you can create is 1,000. That you can create is a 1,000. Is that clear?
Okay.
No. Uh, what is a message? It is a keyword which is used to assign a message class to a program so that the program can access all the messages in message class. So this is a very basic way of writing the messages. Okay, you have to never write message like this. I will tell you why. Okay, so this is the very basic and the first way of writing the messages. We can write the message like this, but what would be the issue? I will tell you later. Okay, now, so if I come back, it is a keyword which is used to assign a message class to a program so that the program can access all the messages. We basically have 5 different types of messages. Okay, information about error, warning, and success. I will tell you about this once I show you what it is. Okay, to to go to a message class, the transaction code is SC91.
91.
What is SC91? What happened to the system? Is the system go up? Did you open it there?
No, I didn't open it.
Man. So what is the transaction code? It is
91.
91. Okay. Now I will create my own message class. What will I do? I will create my own message class. Okay. Now, for example, I want to store all the finance related messages in one class called as Vikram_F5. We will create it. Okay. Now, right, I will give a short text here.
Message for finance. App created package as well. Get this.
Very good. So if I just reiterate, so what is the maximum number of messages that you can store in a message class is 1,000. You scroll down here, what is the total number of messages that you can see? Could be 1,000. Okay. So 999. Why it is 999? It is starting with a number called as a 000. Okay. That's the reason it is. Now, what will I do is, what will I do? What is the message that we have given in the program?
Message intercept document number. Right.
Right. So, what will I do is, I will copy and paste the sales document, this text here. Okay, I'm giving a text called as a enter sales document number. I will not give it on 0000. Let that be like this. Now I will give it on 0001. I'll tell you after that why. Okay. Now I want to create a message called as a enter sales document number. What is the message class? Vikram_F5. Okay. Did I mention whether it is an error message, warning message, or any kind of a message? No, I just give it the message name. Now I will save my message. I will save my message. Okay. Now from inactive status it has become active. Now, how do I access this message from the message class? How do I access this message from the message class? Now, you should never write, we can write messages like this, but it is always good to write messages in this particular manner. In this particular manner. Okay. Now, so how do I write? How do I write the syntax? I write it as message. Message.
Message type.
One second. Just give me a second.
Message class name. Okay.
Message name. Message type. What is the type? Error. What is the message number? 001. No. The other one. It might do an error. Hold on. It is an error number required in the message.
Message E001.
Message E001.
Type.
But we have to put the what type of no. One second, I just
So bracket you can use that. That's all. Yeah. E001 bracket and a class name. Bracket close.
E001 bracket open
And bracket close.
Not it's not. Right? So you have to never write messages like this. Reason why, right? Once the above programs have been written, right, it is better not to touch in case of small cosmetic errors. Now, I have written saying the sales document number. Now the end user says, please change the NO to a proper message called as a number. Now, whether if it has been written in a program, this could have been saved in some package and transport request. Now hold the log from the development box to the quality box and to your test environment to your production system, right? This could have taken a transport request route and wherein which you have to touch your code, you have to touch your code, which is a problematic way because if any of touching the code, editing this for the cosmetic changes is not acceptable, right? If you change any core part of the logic, then go change your code. For small changes, never do anything. So if it is cosmetic changes related to message, it is suggested to create the messages in the message class. Now, for example, this had been in a package and through a transport request, there is no point I will touch this. I will go to SN91. I will change this. I will move this to the transport request and move it to my other boxes. Do you get me? So, whenever you write messages, please use the messages class for all the instances wherein which if there is no message class defined, then go try writing like this. Clear? So it is always suggested to write messages and access the messages from your message classes.
Okay.
Now, if I don't give anything, okay, and execute it, it will give me the same error message. If I give try like this, what it is giving, enter sales document number, right? So this is what the message which we have maintained. Okay, now I have to basically do a validation. Do a validation. Okay, now what will I do is, for instance, right? So before we ask him to go inside this function module and see whether all this sales document entered is correct or wrong, or pull out all the data, right? Before that, I have to do a validation and see whether all the sales document numbers which user has entered on the selection screen are right or wrong. Okay, if it is right only, I have to allow it. If it is wrong, I have to not allow the user to go to the function mode. Is it clear?
Okay.
Okay. Now, what will I do is, instead of select statement, what will I do? I will just comment this out for the time being, and I would add something called as a parameter statement. T underscore. What is that? Button. It is of type feedback hyphen button. Here. So what will I do is, I will anyways put it as a p underscore webline. So let this be, and also let this be open. Now what will I do is,
How can you choose, sir? Only one video is there you are using for parameter as well as.
no, hold on. I actually wanted to show you something here. Just give me a minute. So I don't want to select option. I will create a parameter for single sales document number. So for all the sales document number, what will I do is, I will pass it in the range value. How will I pass it? So I will say similarly r underscore webline will do value hash. No, what was that? How did we append it on the other day? Did you remember? Append. No, append value hash. Right? What was that?
In this case, we didn't append, sir.
No, not in this case. Do you remember the other internal table operations program which we have done?
Yes, I remember.
What is the program name? Z item test.
Yes.
Okay, hold on for a minute. Not this one, the other. All the internal table operations, right?
Okay.
Yeah, here it is. Alright. So here we were trying to append the records, right? If you remember, we were trying to append the records. Not in this way. Right, here it is. So we were trying to append the value to our internal table. So in the same way, what will I do is, I will basically want to append the values to my range table. So what are the values? Low. What is low? Not low. Append value. Not the first would be sign. Sign is equals to include. We have to include the values. Sign. What is the option? Option is equals to, what is option? Equal, right? Next, the value that we are passing low, right? So we are passing it as p underscore. So whatever the value which is entered into the this thing, I'm passing it to where I have to pass. I have to pass it to r underscore webline. Now what will I do? I will comment out this, okay, because I don't have an internal table now. Now I created this, okay, this unknown y, sorry, not works, this webline, p underscore webline. So since my function module has a range parameter as an input, I have to send it as a range, right? So I created a parameter statement and I am passing it as a passing the data of my parameter value to the range and passing it. This will work. Now, as we discussed, right,
So this
before
append you write
we
for the parameter or for selection option?
we can write it for anything, not only for parameter or selection option. If you want to append a single value to an internal table, now range is nothing but an internal table. Agree. So to this particular internal table, I want to append one value. What is that value? The value which is coming from my parameter statement. So I want to append this value. So what is this range structure? What are the field it consists of? Sign option low and high. Since we are not passing anything on the high value, I am passing sign as I, option as EQ, and low as the parameter which I am passing it, and I'm appending it to my internal table. So whatever he is entering here, that will get inserted to my appended to my internal table. That is what I am doing here. Okay. Now before this, I have to basically validate, right? I have to basically validate my is not initial. I have to basically validate it. I have to basically validate it. Now, what is that validation? I have to check whether the entry which he has entered, entry which he has entered. Select single, start, select single, plan from VBAC into data plan where plan is equals to P underscore work. So what is it I am doing? I have to basically have to be what? I have to basically
So why you have taken P underscore VBLN? Why not S underscore VBLN?
we have removed the select options, right? I
Okay.
wanted to show you the validation of the messages. We can even do that, but in a simpler way, I wanted to show you this. That's why I removed. I will comment this back and put your sales select options again. Okay. So for whichever the value he is entering on the screen, I have to basically do the validation first. And if the system says that whatever the sales document number which he has entered on the screen is correct, then only allow him to go to the function module and do the processing. Else throw an error message and do nothing and come out of the program. That is what my requirement is. So once the user has entered a value on the selection screen, so how do we know if this is not entered? The user has entered some value on the selection screen. So where does all the sales document number exist? Sales document number exists in a table called as a VBAK. So this is not allowing. I don't know what happened. So I will create a variable. I will create a variable data will be underscore will be L1, which is of type what feedback hyphen vector. So I am basically checking whether the user which he has entered on the parameter, if it has any entry exist in my table or not. In my table or not. If if right, if psi, I will not say psi Apache if LV underscore Brooklyn is initial, which means there is no entry form, right? I will throw a error message.
What's
Else
the
I
meaning of
will
this line, sir? LV underscore will initial.
now tell me. You have to tell me what is the meaning of that.
It means
Try
it
to
is not
read the
having the value.
statements again. Sorry.
When the value is not there in the VBLN.
When yeah, 1 second. I will tell you. Because just hold on for a minute. Okay. Now if I say uh, now let me answer your question. Now tell me, so what is it we are doing? We are asking the user to enter a sales document number, and once if he enters, how do we know whether he enters or not? This determines if it is not initial. If there is any value in it, not initial means there exists a value in it, then we are having a sales document which is entered by the user. Agreed? Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir.
Are you agreeing with my point? So how do we determine whether user has entered a sales document or not? If this value is not initial, which means it has a value, then the sales document number is entered. We don't know whether he has entered the right sales document or wrong sales document. So he has entered some value. So if this is not initial means there is some value in P underscore web. Are you agreeing with me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now I so whatever the value which he is giving, I have to validate whether which he has given is the right sales document number or not. Right. For that, what I have to do, I am selecting a single webline from VBAC table into I have created a local variable called as a LV webline. Right. So I am selecting a webline from VBAC into LV webline. So for whichever the number which is given in your parameter statement. Now, if we assume that if he has given the right sales document number, this will go and hit your VBAC table and get the VBLN and put it into LV Assume he has given a wrong document number. When we hit this query, this will be size abarc 4 and your LV Veblen will be initial. LV Veblen will be initial. Now all this logic which I have written for you to explain about the next syntax in your message class. The other way of writing a syntax is substitutional parameter. What it is? Substitutional parameter. How do you indicate a substitutional parameter in a message class? Is through a ampersand. Through a message class is through a ampersand. Now what will I do is I will say enter sales document number ampersand 1 is incorrect. So I'm saying entered sales document number. Okay, I will put it simply like this. Sales document number is incorrect. Sales document number is incorrect. Right? I will put simply like this. Sales document number is incorrect. Now, if I just pass on the message saying that sales document number is incorrect, user will be not understanding. I have to say whatever the value which is entering on the screen. If it is a wrong value, I have to even display that value as well. So this parameterization statement of ampersand, right, holds that value. Basically, holds that value. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now I will tell you what it is. Now I will tell you what it is. Now assume that I am activating this. Alright. Now what will I do is, okay, I have to basically write this message. So how do I write my message? Tell me. I have to read the second message. Message
Message
E
001
00002. Alright, what is the message class? Z Vikram underscore F5. Z Vikram underscore F5. Agreed. So if this is initial, I have to raise a message. Now I have to even pass the value which is with a parameter statement. Since we have used this ampersand operator, which is a parameterization operator, so I have to pass the value which he is entering here. So I will pass it as p underscore weblet. P underscore weblet. Now, if I run my message, if I run my program, and I will give some like this value and execute it. So what it is saying now, change document number, whatever I entered is incorrect. Why the after the number, why it is coming as the value which I have entered? Because I mentioned the parameterization statement here, right? Like this. Now if you go to my statement, how many substitutional parameters you can store in a message? You can basically store 4 substitutional parameters in a message. Like this, you can pass 2, you can pass 3, you can pass 4, not more than this. Okay, so you have to build your message in such a way that you can pass 4 substitutional parameters only. Clear? This is all about your message class. This is all about your message class. Clear? Right? To show that only, I don't want to validate for each and everything. I thought like let me just do it for a parameter statement. You can even do the same thing for your select a query as well. Now, if you I wanted you to understand about the different types of messages. Whenever you give a message as an E, right, complete functionality will be closed. Complete functionality will be closed and it will show you the error message. It will basically show you the error message. Now, what if I put it as a warning message? What if I put it as a warning message? Right? Are you listening? The warning message will not basically, if I do a F8, so since we are not, okay, I will show you somewhere else that will be a right approach. Okay, hold on. Success message, it will, whenever you put it as a success, it will come in green color. It will basically come in green color. Sales document number is incorrect, which is showing your success message in terms of it. So when do you use a success message? When there is success happened, you will show your success messages, right? Warning message, basically error messages, when you do, it will completely hold your transaction and show you that error message. Until and unless that error is rectified, it will not allow you to go to the next piece of logic. Whereas a warning message just gives you a warning, you can even avoid those warnings. Clear?
Okay.
Success. Avoid, I never used it. Okay. This is what about all your messages class. Okay. So the next concept for today, which is very important, is reports. We are starting the concept what? Reports. So, right?
You were talking last time regarding the what do you call it? Conditional statements.
Hmm?
You were talking about
What I'm
conditional statement. You were
I will explain you that loop and end to patent of some. Okay, I will explain you. No worries on it.
no. I just remind you. You told me that.
Right, right. So we will be starting. So you are clear about the message class, right?
Oh yeah.
Now we will start a concept called as a reports. Okay. Basically, ABAP is what? What what drives the ABAP? Whenever someone asks you a question, you have to say ABAP is an event-driven programming language. What is an ABAP? ABAP is basically an event-driven programming language. So whatever you write in your program, all of the things are event-based triggered programming. What it is? It is event-based triggered programming. In ABAP, in reports, we have certain events. We have what? Certain events. So what are the list of events? First event is load of program. First event is load of program. Second event is initialization. What it is? Second event. What the second event is?
Initialization.
Third event is X selection screen output. What it is?
Selection screen output.
Fourth event is X selection screen on field. What it is?
Selection screen output.
With X selection screen on value request. What is the fifth event?
Selection screen on value request. Selection screen
The sixth.
request.
Seventh event is start of selection. Seventh event is start of selection. What is eighth event? Eighth event is end of selection. What is eighth event? End of selection. What is ninth event? Top of page. What is tenth event? End of page. As of now, we have 14 to 15 different type of events. First, let us understand all these events and put all this across in your program. Whenever you write a report in a program or any logics in a program, you have to basically follow this list of events. What you have to do? You have to follow the list of events, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what it is? So, what exactly is this events? What are these events called? Okay. Now, let us understand these events one by one. Load of program. What the first event is? Load of program. Load of whenever you execute a program, load of program. I forgot this one. Load of program. What it is? Shit. Okay. Sorry. Whenever you execute a program, right? A memory space is created at the background. So what is load of program? It will basically load the program. So how will it load the program? Whenever you execute a particular program, a memory space is created at the background, right? So the very first events that get triggered whenever you execute a program, right, is what? Load of program. What is it? Is it basically loads the program into a memory. Whenever you execute a program, a memory space is created at the background. So whenever, for example, if you are executing this event, right, this thing, the first event which gets triggered is what? Load of program. What does it do? It basically loads the program from by creating a memory space where at the background. Okay, this is a simple statement. Now from here we have to understand what is this event, what is the second event, what it is.
initialization,
What it is? It is
initialization.
so. But when we use initialization, we use this event. We use this event to initialize default values or variables in the program. Whenever you want to default certain values or variables in the program, you basically use the initialization event. So if you want to default certain values for variables or right, not only default values, sorry, not or for variables in the program, or you can even also or default the values for selection screen or default the values for parameters or any field, or for instance any field in the program, or any field in the program, you basically use this ensure whenever you want to default certain values. For instance, when a selection screen is entered, right, we have a field called as a country. Every time the country field should be defaulted to US. So if you want to default a selection screen field, or whether it may be a parameter field where you want to default a value, right, or it may be any variable which is being used in the program, you want to default any value, what you will do, you will basically write that in an event called as a initialization event, in which event you will write that event in a initialization event, right? Clear?
Okay. Can we see in the program?
I will show you. Okay. Now, what is the third event? What is the third event? Selection screen output. Selection screen output. This is this. I will say this event is used to modify the selection screen dynamically. We say why my values dynamically based on user actions. Based on this event is used to modify the selection screen dynamically based on user action. This event, okay, is triggered. When it is triggered, okay, for every action made on the selection screen. Okay. It's selection. What is the next event? It's selection screen on field. What is this?
What is this as
This
screen output?
I will tell you. Just read the sentence. I will show you in the screen now. Okay. For field validations. Okay. Now, at selection screen event, whenever you what is a selection screen? First, tell me.
Selection screen.
What is a selection screen? Right now, in a report, now when I say Vikram, now let's see what was your program. The program was this, right? Now when I execute this program, is this my selection screen?
Yes.
This is my selection screen. Now I'll go back to statement. This event is used to modify the selection screen dynamically based upon user actions. If you want to modify anything on the screen, okay, for example, I will say I will have two radio buttons here, sales document number and billing document number for the radio button. Now I say if I click on the radio button sales document number, the fields for sales document number should be shown, whereas my fields of the billing document number radio button should be hidden. Now when the user selects on billing document number radio button, the fields of billing document number should be shown and automatically my fields of sales document number should be hidden. If this is the requirement, then such things can be handled in which event? The event called as a at selection screen output. Understood? So if I have to reiterate the sentence what I have said, this event is used to modify the selection screen dynamically based upon user action. What is user action? For instance, it had two radio buttons. One radio button needs to enable four fields and other radio button needs to enable other four fields. When I click on first radio button, it should enable and show me four fields of one. And when I click on second radio button, it has to hide the first four and show me the second four, which means I am making some action on the selection screen which should modify my selection screen based dynamically based upon the user action.
Okay.
Is this statement suggestible? So in order to handle such logics or such events, we write it in which event? We write it in an event called as an at selection screen output. We write it in an event called as an at selection screen output. What is the next event? At selection screen on field. Now, if you want to validate a particular field on the selection screen, if you want to validate a particular field on a selection screen, then what is that you are going to do is you will write a at selection screen on field. You will write an event called as an at selection screen on field. So I missed one more event here. It is screen. Selection screen. This would be 8. Now what we will do is we will try to show each and every event which we are discussing here on the by creating a report program. So what is the first load of program? This load of program event you cannot see it, only you can see it on the runtime, that is on the debugger or on the background. Now we will try to use all other events and try to build a report. So what is the first event? Initialization. Alright. Now what will I do is I will create a new program. I will basically create a new program G546 underscore reports. Right, I will create a program. I want this program to be a reports program. What it is? Reports program. No, what is this type? It is an executable program. It is an executable program. Now I will save under.
Z underscore.
You created a package. Okay, we will try to put it down in the package. Right. So now, what is the event? What is the first event in my program? Is the what? Initialization event. Now what will I do is first I will try to create my structure some ti underscore let me put a new table. What it is? EKKO. I will take a purchase document number EKKO and I will say Evelyn type, or simply what will I do is, as of now I don't want to take all these things. I will say IT underscore EKPO standard table of EKPO. For timing I'm taking like this. We should never take If you are trying to utilize all the fields, then only you have to take this field. Okay, standard table of EK. Here I am declaring my two internal tables. Now in the selection screen, how do I, after declaring my declarations, what is the next event? Next step I have to do? Work area, we will declare it later. Okay, select options. So I have something called as a selection screen. Selection screen, begin of screen with, what is it?
Beginner
Screen.
block B1.
Yeah, now begin of selection screen, begin of block B1 with
Frame.
frame title text 001. Okay, this basically builds a full block. Then I will say selection screen end of block B1. So whatever I declare inside this, I will basically have a values. So now, now let me quickly go to a table called as a EKKO. What is the table I wanted to go? I wanted to go to a table called as a EKKO, but I will go with in C69. So I want to see the values of it. Now I have so many company codes here, OAL2 3000, right? I have different sort of company codes. Now if I click on this and click on set filter, right? Now user says by default, whenever I see a selection screen, my company code should have a value called as a 3000. It has 4 different types of company codes. Now the user requirement is whenever the selection screen is shown, by default it should be 3000. If the user wants to change to any other company code, he can change it. So what will, so, and he also says that, where is the end of block? Okay, here it is. So he also says that I want a selection screen with the purchasing document number. So how do you declare it? How do you declare it? So in order to use this, first you have to use called the table parameter of EKKO. Now after this you say select options.
What is the meaning of first line, sir? Table EKKO.
Right, right, I'll tell you. X underscore EBELN. Select options. I will say X underscore EBELN.
Or
Right. Tell me what I have to write. For what? EKKO hyphen EBELN. Agree? Now select option. So he says that I want it to be a parameter statement. Since company code, they wanted to enter a single company code. I will put it as a P underscore what it is company code CO CC or CCOD company code. Okay, P underscore company code, which is of type what? EKKO hyphen. What is the field name? What is the field name?
you
Is BUKRS. What it is? Bookers. Right? Now, this is my selection screen. I am done. I am done. Text title you can all keep that is a small things. Now, let us go back to our thing. What is initialization? We use this event to initialize what? Default variables for what? For variables in the program, or defaulting the values for selection screen, or defaulting the values of what? Parameters, or for any instance, any field in the program. If you want to default any values in the program, what you do, you basically use an event called as initialization. Right? Agreed?
yeah.
Okay. Now, how do I put those my statements in the program now? How do I put those statements in the program? So I have an event called as an initialization. What it is? Initialization. I would put initialization, and here I say, how do I default the value?
by
How do I
default the value p underscore
how do I default
p underscore cc
p underscore CCOD, right?
equal to
Is equals to what?
uh,
It should always be 3000, right?
mhm.
So I can basically initialize any values in the program. Whether if I declare a variable or you declare a worker, if I want to initialize certain values before the program start executing, right, then I have to use an event called initialization. Now if I reiterate, we use this event to initialize default values for variables, for selection screen, for parameters, or for instance any field in my program. Agreed?
Mhm.
So this is what we use for the initialization.
So for
But
selection
now if I execute my program, what is the default code for my company code?
3000
It is 3000. Why it is 3000? We have defaulted it. Where it has been defaulted in an event called as an initialization, right? So
okay
whenever you write a program, you have to know, do we need to initialize any values? If yes, go do it in your initialization event. Do it in your initialization event. Okay. Now I have a requirement. Now what is my requirement is, right? Where is my thing? Okay. I will tell you here itself. My requirement is I have to basically display information of customer or information of vendor, right? Whenever user select on its respective radio button. Whenever the user select on its respective radio button. If the user select, now for instance, I say, okay, uh, I have two radio buttons. What I have? I have, okay, example, two radio buttons. Okay, first radio button. Assume that this is the radio button. First radio button is customer. Second radio button is what it is? Vendor. Are you there, Vikram?
yes
Now, user, if he selects customer radio button, it has to display customer number and one field with customer number and another field with customer name. Now, if the user can select radio button vendor, then I have to display vendor number field and vendor name, where user can enter the customer number and customer name on the selection screen. Now, third event is at selection screen now event. So whatever the logic which you write here, that logic will only use to modify the selection screen, but not your actual logics. So if you want to change your selection screen dynamically based upon any action, right, then you have to write your logic in your at selection screen output. So what is that thing? So what we will do now is I will try to create a two radio buttons first. I will try to create a two radio buttons. Okay. Now I will try to close this. I will say, so how do I create my radio buttons? How do I create my radio buttons? I will say, right, p
radio
underscore,
p underscore
1 second, 1 second. Uh, right, right. Okay. First, how do I create? Using a radio button. Using
r
radio button underscore. I'll say radio button underscore customer radio button. I will give a group called as an RB1. I'm saying for radio button, I have defined a group called as an RB1. Right. In the same way, I will create one more radio button RB underscore vendor radio button group RB2. RB2. Okay. Now, this is my initial thing. right? I will remove this. I will remove this. Now what contains only one parameter? RB2. Hold on for a minute. Right. Now I created a radio buttons. I created two radio buttons. Now if I don't specify anything, the default radio button what system would select is the first radio button, right? I did not specify anything. If I say I want to use the second radio button as a default thing, then what will I say? Default X, default X. If I say like this, when I execute it, the default radio button which will be selected is your vendor radio button. Are you clear? If I don't specify the default values, whenever you specify a radio button, then by defaultly the radio button whichever is selected on your screen, I mean the first radio button is customer, that radio button value will be selected. Did you observe here? I just executed it. It is giving me the selection screen with radio button. And what is the default radio button? It is customer radio button, right?
Yes.
Now, RB custom RB vendor is not a proper naming. So what will I do? I will go to the text elements and selection text. For all the selection screen parameter, you can specify the customer details, and I will specify vendor details. Will specify the vendor details. Now if I execute it, I can come back, right? I execute it and come back, right? And activate this. I will have a proper customer details and vendor details. Now after the radio button is selected, I have to basically have four fields. First field is P underscore customer QNNR, which is of type KNA1 hyphen KNNR, right? Now, what is the second field? P underscore name. What is of this name? Type KNA1 hyphen name1. So, customer number and customer name. Customer number and customer name. Now, in similar way, I want to create one more parameters with P underscore vendor. Who is vendor? Now, assume that vendor is your purchasing document number. Okay, I will put it as vendor is my purchasing. So, I will put it as EKKO Abler. EKKO Abler. Who is your vendor name? P underscore name, which is of type PKKO hyphen name1. I don't know whether this exists or not. If not, it will throw me a P underscore name is already declared. Okay, I will put it as CUS name. CUS underscore name. I will put it as VN underscore name. Okay. Now let me see. Cannot be 8 parameters long. Okay, I will put it as C name, simple, and I will put it as V name. Now it says EKKO does not have a name. Let me go to EKKO and see vendor details. Yeah, this is the vendor is Lifner, right? Vendor is okay. Vendor is not from EKKO, it is from a table called LFA1. LFA1 is my vendor details, right? Vendor master. Here I will have it. So vendor is not EKKO, my bad, it is LFA1 hyphen. What is it? Lifner. Lifner is my vendor number. Now, what is the other thing? This Lifner only, I will have my name. So I basically have to, now if I execute, what will happen? I will have two radio buttons and I will have these four fields. Agreed? Now, but my requirement is when I select the vendor related fields only be in the display mode. Other two fields should be hidden. When I select my customer related field should be in the editable mode where the other two fields should be hidden, so that user will only enter values of customer. Whenever he select the values of vendor, he will enter the values of vendor details such as vendor number and name. Now before that, what will I do? I will go to my text elements and click on selection text. I will click on selection text. See, I will give it as a customer number. Alright, sorry, this is customer name. I will put here it is as a P underscore Kunar is my customer number. Here it is customer name. Right here, what it is?
Vendor name.
Vendor name. Here, vendor number. Right. Now to put it here, activate. and giving a proper naming conventions. Proper naming conventions. I will activate my code. I will click on F8. Now, what is requirement? What is at selection screen output does? This event is used to modify the selection screen dynamically based upon my user action. So, whenever you make any action on the selection screen, this event gets triggered. So, if I have to handle it, what is the event where I have to write the logic? I have to write it in a logic called as a at selection screen output, right? Now, I will in the initial I assume that by default whether it is anything or not, I have to have this field. Assume that I have to have this field company code. Okay, and the company code value should always be 3000. So if I execute it, whether this is whether this is whether it is a customer or a vendor, my company code should always be 3000, whereas the other fields should be hidden or not hidden based upon this. Now I created parameters for customer and customer number. Now do I have to basically give it specify whether these particular fields belong to one radio button or these particular fields belong to other radio button? How will I specify that? How will I specify that? Right now, I will say I will give a name saying that for these parameters which we created, I have something called as a modification ID. I will give a naming convention called as an AA or XXY or Vikram whatsoever. I'll give a name called as an AI. In the similar way, I will give modification ID as BBB. Modified is nothing but a modification ID. We determine or give a name to it to handle that dynamic selection in the screen, right? So because to tell the system which fields to be hidden or which field should not be hidden, I have to specify a modification ID. So whenever you want to access dynamically a particular field on your selection screen, whenever you want to change anything the value on the selection screen, right, you have to tell the system which fields to be hidden or which fields should perform any action. So if you have to tell it, you have to maintain something called as a modification ID. So for the first two fields, I will maintain a modification ID name as A. For the other two fields, I will maintain a modification ID as PBB. But for company code, whether irrespective radio button 1 is selected or 2 is selected, I have to display it. I will not specify any modification ID. Now, at selection screen, what is the event? Output. At selection screen, output. Right? This is the event triggered. Right? This is the event triggered whenever you want to basically change anything on the screen. Now, what is the requirement? If radio button 1 is selected, what is the first radio button?
Customer.
Hit RB underscore customer is not initial. So whenever an RB is selected, the value default will be X. And okay, if this is not selected, means which means it is the second radio button is selected. That we will write it in the else part. Now hear me out clearly, right? If we have a radio button group, what is a radio button group name?
RB1.
What?
RB1 is X.
RB1 is X. Okay. No, no, no. Sorry. We have selected what? If radio button RB underscore customer is selected, what we have to do? We have to basically loop the screen value. Screen is also nothing but an internal table. What is a screen? It is basically a table which has all the screen elements. Okay. Now what will I do? I will loop this screen values. I will loop this screen values. When I open a loop, I have to end the end loop. Now what is a screen group name? Screen group name for the fields. For the
A.
fields, what is the screen group name for the fields? If then I will say we have a group. We have a screen group, right? One. If screen is a table, it is a table. If it is, I'll show you. If it is AAA, then what will I do is first I will put an end if. Let me also try this. Then I will say screen hyphen input is equals to 1. I will simply say screen hyphen input is equals to 1 and I will modify the screen. Okay. Else in this case, else if in this case I will say right, else case means the vendor
One
is
okay.
selected. One means active. Now if it is B, for all the B fields I will make it as active. Let me just test it first. If it is working, then I will. Okay, right? One second. X selection screen output. So no. Hold on. I'm doing this wrong. Right? Scroll group dot if. Okay. Okay. Screen group is this. I have to modify this. Else if. Okay. Hold on, my bad. Just hold on. So I should not say this. So we have to basically hide and unhide the unnecessary fields, right?
Yeah.
So if this customer is selected, I have to loop the screen fields. If it is screen, I have to modify it. Else if the screen group is
Why can
screen
you
hyphen.
you can directly use like X selection.
No, we will have so many things. I will show you in the debugger. Hold on. Okay. Then if else if the screen group is this, I have to deactivate the other field. So how do I deactivate? By putting this. Right? I will say modify screen and I will write it as a end loop. Right? Now this is in case of my RB customer is not initial. Now if this is the case of else if RB underscore vendor is not initial, then now this is what I will basically do it in a vice versa. So I have to loop this. If it is this, I have to hide this elements and I have to activate, hide this, activate this, hide this, activate this, hide this, activate this.
Zero means hide here.
For the zero means hide here. Yes. Before the screen, else if and if. Now here also else if and if. Because I have opened the class, I have closed the class. Now what is the default? Tell me what is the default radio button now it is selected?
Customer.
It is customer number. Okay. What is the default thing which is selected is the customer number. But this is not hiding the details. Hold on for a minute. At selection screen on port. Loop at screen. group A, B, B, B. So I'm executing this. I'm executing this.
We don't need to give the value like
Hmm?
we don't need to give the value like how the system can realize that what you have been selected.
So one second. So if you see here, screen is nothing but an internal table. As I've told you, it is nothing but an internal table. Okay. What is the screen fields that we have? We have so many fields in screen. Okay. For example, we have like this name. We have group one, group two, group three, group four. Required input, output, intensified, invisible, length, active, whatsoever. Right? We have these many fields. So I'm saying when the group one, when I now screen is nothing but your screen fields. When I loop it for the first time, the screen group value it captures. Screen group value is blank, so it will not do anything. So whenever you write like this, at certain point of time when you're looping the screen element, the screen group value will become a, it will become a, then I will say screen dot value is 0 by default. I'll make it as a 1. I will make it as a 1 and I modify the screen. I will modify the screen. Right? So there are two fields in my AA. I have modified it. Right? I have modified it. Now BBB, I will say this. I will say this. I will say this. That is what it is happening. Maybe the 0 and 1 values which I'm entering is wrong. Hold on for a minute. Let me just try to change that and look at it. So I will put this here as 0. I will put this here as 1. Let me write for first. Then let us see the step. Write as well. No, man, screen dot group one is equals to, so what wrong did I have not taken a group of radio button RP1 which is correct. Okay, both belong to one group called the radio button. For the fields I differentiated with A and BBB which is also correct with the modification ID. Now with that selection screen on field on output, selection screen output, if this is not initial, if the radio button is not initial, I'm taking the screen field and I'm making this as an active. And I'm making this as an active. I'll make this as an active. Okay, let me just do like this. Let's say, let's ready. Right. What is the issue? What is the issue? What is the issue? I got the issue. Let me see if this works. So I should not give it in small letters, maybe. I should give it in capital letters. I'm not sure. Let me just try. No, it is not good. Okay, let me just select the other thing. No, no. Screen dot input. Screen dot input. So, why is this not? Mm. So what are the screen elements? One second. So I'll go to the table. Screen is a table. Vikram, are you there? I
Yes, I am
see
there.
my screen. So screen is nothing but a table which has so many elements like group. Let me try with input active. Let me try with active ones. Screen dot active. Screen dot active. Let me try this. What went wrong? What went wrong?
We can write like screen input and screen invisible, active and invisible. For 0 invisible, for 1 active.
Screen dot what we have put as input only, right?
Yeah, screen input equal to 1,
Okay.
and for 0 it will be invisible. Yeah, you are right. Active.
That is something.
That should be invisible.
Yeah. Hold on. Just let me try this. What went wrong? I'm putting it as a screen group as a make this input as one, which just means editable. And if the screen group is we make it as inactive. That is what I'm trying to do. And I'm doing my end loop. Alright. This is for the case of this thing. Why this is not happening?
Can we start for that other one?
What do you do? Ah, what happened? What happened to this Vikram? Okay, let me just work on this and get back to you. There is something which is missing.